how will we leave this world? How will you die? What will your state be? What will happen to you at the moment of death? Will you be able to say the shahada? Will you be able to say la ilaha illallah? Will you die while you're doing something good, a good deed, perhaps salah? Or will you die, wal-'iyadu billah, committing a sin far away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala? And so a question that always comes up and we ask ourselves, and we should ask ourselves, is how will I die? And what will I do for that moment? What have I prepared for that moment? And so there's an example of a famous video that you might have seen of a sheikh that was teaching in a mosque. And while he was teaching in the masjid, giving a lecture, he suddenly had a heart attack and he died. May Allah have mercy on him. And he died in a good state. He died while he was in the house of Allah. He died while he was benefiting the people for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, on the minbar, in the house that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is blessing. And so you ask yourself, how do you want to leave this world and what are you doing to prepare for it? Because on the other hand, we know of many people who have died doing terrible things. There's the brother that died, and right before he died, he started asking for more alcohol. He started begging for alcohol at the moment of death. And that is the last thing that he said before he died. And there are people who, when they're dying, they start singing lyrics, musical lyrics, and they know nothing else. They're not able to say La ilaha illallah. There are people that while they're dying, they're talking about their finances. So they're talking about their wealth. Do this and do that, take care of this inheritance, take care of my business. And that's all they talk about. And then they die in this state. And there are people, while they're dying, they're committing some kind of sin or fornication, wal-'iyadu billah, and this has happened often. And so you ask yourself, what do you want to do to prepare for the moment of death? Because the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, whoever dies upon something will be resurrected upon it. Whoever dies upon something will be resurrected upon it. And this is reported by Al-Hakim. Now, you can also say that whatever you live upon, whatever you do during your life, whatever is really in your heart is what you will die upon. So what you live upon is what you will die upon. If you really lived La ilaha illallah, you will die upon La ilaha illallah. But if you did not really mean it, and you did not act upon it, and it did not mean anything to you, and you lived upon sins and arrogance, or money and music, or fornication and adultery, you're most likely going to die in a state similar to what you lived upon. So you will die upon what you lived, and you will be resurrected upon what you died upon.